going on this Thursday night? The Lady Vols take care of business. 91-78, Kim Caldwell and staff start SEC play undefeated. 1-0. They will go into Sunday. Now, I've not pulled up the SEC scores tonight. I need to look at that. But big one, biggest test of the year coming Sunday against Oklahoma. He's Kerry. I'm Frank. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that share. And if you have not already, you like the content, hit that subscribe button as well. Had a real big time, and definitely want to start off, hit this one here. Kelly Fiddler, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. We greatly appreciate that. Appreciate your generosity. Glad to have you as part of the channel here as well. We'll hit some more comments here in a little bit. We got about 49 people already in here, so let's keep them rolling in. You can watch on Twitter, you can watch on YouTube, you can watch on Instagram live as well. If you haven't found it, it's at House of Orange TN, capital H. The O on the orange is capitalized and TN is capitalized as well. But overall thoughts on the game. We talked a little bit about one part of it, but overall thoughts on the entire game tonight. What did you think of this team as they start SEC play?
I mean, overall, pretty good, I would say. I mean, Kim Caldwell wins her first SEC game, and it never was particularly close. It was kind of bounced back and forth. It felt like a sloppy game aside of officiating. It didn't feel like neither team was clicking on all cylinders or even close at sometimes. I mean, Texas A&M, they came out, they battled back. We were making threes, and they were having wide open shots under the basket. We just pulled away towards the end of the first quarter and into the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, you start out, they get the bucket to start the thing with the and-1. They get a little momentum. They knock down the score, and then we kind of just locked in after that. I don't think it got under 10. A 10-point lead in the second half, if I remember correctly. I know in the fourth quarter they knocked it down.
10,
it got down to 10, and then that was it. So a good job by Caldwell's team just to battle back, just to make sure they didn't actually get things interesting. Because there was a lot of times where things could have got interesting, especially after they got the technical free throws. That could have changed some things. But overall, Lady Vols, great W tonight.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said on that. I mean, it's third got a little interesting. That first half was outstanding. I never felt concerned, and I know the A&M crowd started getting into it, and that's good. That's good for this Lady Vols team. You want to experience that because you're going to experience more hostile environments. On the other thing is you don't go to Columbia because I know that's a very good women's environment, but you're going to go to others that are as well. But yeah, I mean, I thought they took care of business tonight. It was one to me. You look at there was a stat, something stood out to me here just a minute ago, and I forgot about it. I have it come back to me here in just a minute. But that first quarter, looking at that, they come out 22-15. Surprisingly enough, A&M, when I looked at when I previewed them, I saw that their main four scorers all had pretty decent 3-point percentages.
Yeah.
They only shot 8 for the whole game tonight.
Yeah, they didn't really shoot. I mean, but they had a lot of a lot of attempts under the basket. Tennessee definitely didn't defend the paint as well as they should have, especially in the first half.
So I wonder if they maybe saw that this A&M team can shoot. And I've not watched them.
Yeah.
But if they saw it and said, we're going to make them beat us in the paint. And, I know what it was. You mentioned the referees. Both teams got some raw deal on some walks tonight.
Yeah.
And there were some – I know Cooper had a really good move. The girl for A&M had a really good move. It was the same move. They both scored, and it took them off the board. It was a perfect spin move. There was no extra steps or anything. That was I laughed at the one announcer, said there must have been a call from the office on that play or something because it happened, like 3 times?
I think there was 3 or 4 travels.
But it was I got to think that I think Kim Caldwell and staff will be happy with this.
Yeah.
There's also plenty to work on here as well. And it's it's a marathon. It's not a sprint right now, but you take that one 91-78. Look at the game stats. I want to hit that here real quick. I'll get in some comments, some more conversation if I can get this stupid light to quit blinding me right here. But field goal percentages, Tennessee shot 47%. A&M right here's one. But you mentioned this as well. You hit the nail on the head on this. A&M shot 56%. Well, where did you say a lot of their damage was done at?
In the paint.
Exactly. There you go. I felt like they had a lot of success in the paint on it tonight. Free throws, I've got to see this better. 61.9%, 13 out of 21. They've got to get better at that one because in a close game, that's going to come back on them for sure. Rebounds, this was one coming in that A&M, I felt this was something Tennessee could do really well at, and it proved out because A&M on the season coming in had a negative rebounding margin. They were actually being out-rebounded by their opponents. Lady Vols were dominating theirs. Lady Vols wins. Let me share this as I'm sitting here talking about it. I can pull it up. And that way you
too, so I don't have to.
Talking about here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't have to keep up on my phone that way.
Yeah, there we go. All right. You see it now?
Yes.
Everybody good? And I'll hit some comments here in a minute. You guys, appreciate you tuning in. But rebounds, 39, 29, 21 offensive boards. That's a pretty big difference there. So that's going to lead to, where's my second chance points? 23 second chance points to 9 for A&M. That's a 14-point difference. Well, 13-point game. There you go. You can chalk that one up when you get those second chance points. That's a big one for you in the game.
21 offensive rebounds is pretty nice too.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 offensive rebounds and only limiting them to 9. So that's, to me, that's controlling the rebounds.
That's a huge differential.
And on a game like tonight where we're going to look at statistic or by quarter here, that was big. That was big on it tonight. Wanted to get down. Assists, 23-16, 25 turnovers. I expected that. I really kind of did not expect the Lady Vols to have 20 turnovers. They were a little careless at times with it. And this is a interesting one. A&M had 8 blocks. Lady Vols had 0 on the night. Bench points there, 49-21. Now, not many teams are going to rotate like the Lady Vols do either.
Hockey subs.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a new line skating in, and that was, what was it, about not even 5 minutes into the game?
I could have swore it was like a minute and a half into the game or 2 minutes.
I was going to say,
it was early.
I was thinking maybe I was generous on that, but yeah, it was like, well, there was a couple of.
It was just a sloppy start kind of from both teams, and I feel like Kim Caldwell just got mad at that, so she just, no rotation.
What was it? A&M got a couple offensive rebounds to start.
A couple easy baskets.
Seemed like people were just standing around, and then, yeah, like you said, the hockey line come skating in at that point with it. 11 steals to 6, 34 points off turnovers, 29 for A&M. A 5-point difference plays in. Points in the paint. Here's one. I'm kind of not surprised in a respect because I don't feel like the Lady Vols are necessarily a post-up, your traditional post-up team. 50, 44 points in the paint. The second chance for big 30 fouls. That's a lot. And there was the one technical on Spearman. And what I liked on that, I liked it. Samara Spencer was kind of letting her have it a little bit for it. Samara Spencer comes off to me more or less like the floor general.
Yeah.
And she was getting on Spearman about that. I like that because you can't be doing it. And they said that Spearman had been kind of chirping at the refs for a little bit. What stands out to you about these game stats right here?
I would just say the offensive rebounds. I mean, anytime you win the offensive rebound margin by that much, that's pretty good. And considering they didn't just get the offensive rebounds and let it go to waste, there was also the huge differential in second chance points. So that definitely was probably the thing that stood out the most to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's look here. First quarter, 22-15. I mean, your field goal percentages, 39, pretty much even, 39.1, 38.9. We'll just call them 39. 40% three-point. I thought they were doing pretty good. We're going to talk about individual players. I thought it was an easy player of the game tonight. Second quarter, this was, in my opinion, probably the difference in the game. 26-11 during that quarter, 75% field goals in the quarter. Only 3 threes in the quarter. Got to hit the free throws better, but 8 rebounds to 3. Got up to a 22-point lead, 8 turnovers during it. That was big. Now, on the flip side, this actually was not as bad as I felt like. 27-19 for A&M. And there were times I felt like it was a whole lot worse, but A&M shot right at 67% in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Lady Vols 35. Too many fouls. They got to the free throw line, and, they hit right at 85% with it. I don't really see a whole lot more that stood out difference, but they just shot the lights out, and they were making things happen, getting to the free throw line. And you mentioned it, they were going in the paint a lot, and it showed. And then fourth quarter, pretty even. I mean, A&M shot 69%. So in the second half, they're shooting, right at about 68% for the half. I feel like that's something in a couple games now that has been a little bit of an issue there as well. And then, like I said, I'll hit individual. Like I said, easy player of the game to me right here. Spear, 20 points. 21 efficiency. She was the most efficient on the night. 2 steals, 2 assists. These numbers here I'm highlighting. I mean, 7 turnovers. We got to fix that. 3 and 3 here. Puckett, no points. Spearman, 14. Spencer had 6, but she had 8 assists. Again, she runs the show pretty well there. Whitehorn, 15. My Whitehorn's got to finish better. She still got 15, but I felt like she missed quite a few layups. Darby, 6. I thought Latham had some big moments in the game earlier on. And then Hollinshed, 6, and Cooper, 16. Your most efficient, of course, was Spear. Like I said, easy for me. Player of the game there was Spear. Who stood out to you tonight the most?
I mean, of course, it's Spear. I mean, she shot the ball lots out from 3-point range. I think she was 6 for 7 at one point. She missed a few more down the end of the stretch. But, I mean, you start out 6 for 7 from 3-point range, and they're just throwing you the ball like crazy, and you're making it. I mean, it's going to work. And just the role she has on the team, being the leader that she is. I personally had a class with her. Would have been not this past fall, the one last year. I had class every day. Great kid. Always active in class, had a group project with her, and she was the leader of that group project. So she actually emailed me one night at like 11 o'clock. She's like, I need you to get this slide done so I can send it tomorrow, even though we still had like 2 extra days to turn it in. I was going to do it the next day. And she sent me the email and was like, you need to do this tonight. I was like, okay. And I did it, and I sent it to her. But just, I mean, she's nice in person. She's cool in person. So she's a great kid and an even better basketball player, it seems.
Let's see here. Let's hit. Yeah, I'd say A&M's coach definitely. Yeah. She had them ready to play the second half. They did. You got to give them credit. They come out and shot the lights out in the second half. What's up, Anderson? Yeah, their style of play, it's when it's working. I've said it on here numerous times. It's going to be a thing of beauty. When it's not, it's going to be a little rough. Let me see where we're at here. Okay, we're all caught up. I thought we were way behind here. All right. So I was trying to pull up, and I've not gotten to it yet. Let me find women's basketball scores. Here's what I want. Oklahoma's playing Texas. They are tied right now, 52-52 in the third quarter, actually. So I'll be interested to see. I mean, that's got to be more interesting than this freaking bowl game that's on. So let me just put it on there, and we can have a little bit of keep up on it there along the way as we talk. And that's way behind that score. So scores of interest. Oklahoma tied. LSU up 86-47 on Arkansas. Alabama wins. Ole Miss wins. Kentucky wins. South Carolina drills Missouri. That's in SEC play tonight. Of course, the Lady Vols roll as well, so I don't think there's been any big surprises. Crud as of yet. So I'll get it on here in a minute, maybe. But so the game Sunday.
Oklahoma. I think it's at 3.
Is it? Yeah, I couldn't remember if it's 3 or 4. Let me get back to the Lady Vols. 3 o'clock on Sunday. Yep, that's going to be the big one. Here we go. There's what I wanted.
ESPN.
Is it on ESPN?
Yeah, that's what the ESPN app says. It says it's on ESPN.
ESPN, 3 o'clock. There you go. Nice. So that'll be hopefully a good showcase for the Lady Vols. Biggest test to date, no doubt, is Oklahoma's ranked 9th right now. Regardless of what happens tonight, they're going to be 9th. What do you need to see more of? Now, again, we know with this style of play what you're going to get with them. We know it. There's going to be moments that are great. There's going to be some of those that aren't. Based on what you've seen so far, what you saw tonight, what do you need to see more of from this team?
I don't necessarily have a lot of criticism right now towards the team just because, we're still new into learning the system that Caldwell runs. So I just would say I feel like sometimes they just take some reckless shots. They shoot the 3 ball a little bit too fast sometimes, in my opinion, which I get. That's the style of play. But there's certain situations I feel like they're just kind of running up the court and just throwing it up whenever things are not necessarily going the way. And that leads to some momentum for the other team. So I'd like a little bit more wise decisions whenever it comes to shot taking.
Seems like it's a little chaotic at times. It's kind of like we see that. Even some of the threes they hit tonight, it's like, it seems like a wild shot, and then here, nothing but net. You agree on this? These are the best 2 players right now.
Yep.
I think you got to put Whitehorn up there too. I think she's pretty good. Also, I feel like she can create. I don't know her and Cooper, but Spears the shooter. That's for sure. But they got a good mix with who returned, and then their girls they brought in through the portal, and of course getting Cooper eligible this year has been big for them as well. We look next year with who they've got coming in. Man,
sitting nicely.
They're going to be loaded next year.
Yeah, they will be.
And because they return most of their top players. They'll lose some important players too. But you've got that recruiting class coming in, and then they're going to hit the portal again. Hopefully you don't have any big losses through the portal. And they're looking pretty good next year as well. Their defense is good, but man, A&M, they cannot team shoot 68% in the second half. They just can't. Eric Jones, member of the channel, what's going on, man? Good to see you in here. Good win for the Lady Vols tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Starting SEC play 1-0. What did they say? It's been since 17, since Tennessee's gone this long undefeated?
I didn't hear that part.
That's what I thought I heard at the end of it. Any guys that are listening on here, let me know if I heard that right or not. Definitely better start than last year.
Yeah.
Along the way, for sure. But we'll go here just a few minutes on it, guys. Make sure you check out check out the link for the Patreon. $1, as little as $1 a month goes to help the channel, can go help bring you the coverage you want. Because, I'm not on here bumming for money or begging for money, but it does cost money to do this stuff as well. So appreciate any and all support. And if you can't afford it, that's fine. Make sure you share it out. Share out the content. Get it out there. That's greatly appreciated as well. We've got a nice little crowd in here. Not 227 people watching right now through YouTube, Instagram Live, and Facebook. And there's actually nobody on Instagram Live, so it's not Facebook. So it's all through Twitter and it's all through YouTube. So see what else we got. Eric said, and Kyle Beach both said, yep, 2017. That's what I thought they said on it. I agree with this one. We're going to find out Sunday how good this team is. 57-56 Texas, Oklahoma right now. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to find out on that one. Dustin Sellers, what's going on, man? Love his staff. New approach and athleticism is night and day different than where we've been. Ball handling, passing, and amount of shots around the rim are much more consistent. You guys, too, make sure you check out Dustin's YouTube channel as well. He's a musician. I was messaging with him. He's got I think he said he's got a new album coming out as well. Check it out. He's got some, the way he described it, 90s, kind of your Nirvana, some of those bands type sound. Listen to some of his stuff. It's good stuff. Check it out. Guys, give him some support over there as well. Thanks so much for your generosity, Dustin. Good to see you in here as well. But I don't know if I can get the post game or not. I don't really know how to do all that. I'm not going to lie about it. Let me see if it's on. It's not on utsports.com. I don't know if is it on Twitter? I don't know if those things are that easy to get or not. I could be wrong on it. Let's see. Because, too, I have to be careful. I don't want to demonetize myself any on it either. Let me see. I mean, if I can get it pulled up, I'll pull it up. All right, let's see here. There is something on YouTube. Try this. Vols. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Do you know how to get it?
I'm looking. I haven't found anything yet.
I'm thinking they don't post them live normally.
I don't know. As far as I know, it's not live.
I mean, I know some of the media who do it. I mean, unless they post it on like Twitter or something. I'm looking on YouTube and don't see anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't found anything on YouTube.
So no, I'm not able to get that. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere on here. I mean, if somebody finds the link for it, definitely share it, and I'll be happy to pull it up and we'll watch it together. But I've looked on YouTube. I've looked. Yeah, I just don't see it anywhere. I'll look. I'll make one more search for it right here on. None of the people who cover them have it posted either. So, yeah, I don't think it's live on there. I think you can only get them like I think you can only get them after the fact, based on what I know about it. When is it Kim Caldwell steps away? Do you remember the date on that?
I'm not sure the date on that.
I can find that answer. I was thinking it's soon. I was thinking I think it just says winter of 2025. So she just announced her pregnancy in September. I don't know how far along she was then on it. So it's probably a case of any time I mean, she's probably not stepping away until it's time to give birth, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So so she'll be with us right till then, and then I'll be interested to see who takes over at that point. Because I don't know that they've announced that or not yet either. If they have, I haven't seen it. I mean, my thought is probably Tubner, but I mean, it could be Lazo too. They were both associate head coaches when they come over. So that'll be interesting to see when it is. Let's see here. It's post game. Okay, so I need to pull it up, but it's post game, so I have to wait. Okay. Well, if they post it, then we'll see on it. So Rick McGuire says right up to birth. There you go. So
Till she's about to burst.
yeah. Kyle Beach says hell she might have it in the locker room. So you never know.
No.
You never know.
Hope not. We hope not.
No. I would say probably March or so, possibly.
Yeah,
but
I would bet March.
yeah, we'll see on that. It's probably
Which it could be
around
after
that time. Yeah,
It could be
that's
April.
February, March, somewhere
You think
right
if they
there.
made like the Final Four, she'd be out there?
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome.
Put her out there on a stretcher if she has to. I
Yeah.
bet she would do it. I would guarantee it. She would do it.
She probably would, and I would almost bet she won't be out long either. I bet as minimum as possible, and she'll be right back out on it. What do you think Thompson Bowling's going to be like on Sunday?
I'd say pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to see this team play right now. So I would bet the crowd's pretty nice. I unfortunately can't go because I work that time on this Sunday. But a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people is going to go, and I feel like a lot of students will actually show up too. So, I mean, I would go if I didn't have work, I would go. So, should be pretty nice. Should be a pretty good environment.
Will the students be back at that point?
No, but there should still be some sort of student section just because there's still a lot of people that live in town and are still on campus.
Yeah. Let's don't get too carried away here now. I mean, we're comparing Kim Caldwell to one of the greatest coaches ever. I expect her to do better than the last two coaches we've had.
Which isn't really too hard to beat, in my opinion.
No, I mean, they had their moments, but there's a reason change was made. I mean, it is what it is, not to, pile on them too much. But let's let Kim Caldwell kind of carve out her own thing. Oh yeah, we can hope for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we hope for it. That would be phenomenal. But we'll see. I think let's see, the last game they played was against. Gosh, was it UT Martin before conference play?
Maybe Tennessee?
No, it was Winthrop.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
Martin was a little while back. So
I don't even think the men's played UT Martin.
What's that?
I don't even know if the men's team played UT Martin.
Oh, the women did, but that was earlier in the season. That was way early in the season. It was Winthrop. So I know I'd seen some of it that some of the girls on the team, I'd seen like retweets out and stuff that they were talking about. They appreciated how loud it was, the fans, just for Winthrop, 114.50. I think Sunday's going to be crazy. I think it'll be a lot of support. And then, especially if they are able to win Sunday and you get LSU next week, it's going to be crazy. You'll probably have a lot more students back at that point. And who knows? Maybe they can fill that place up for them. That'd be pretty awesome if they do. I think there's a lot of excitement right now. And I mean, really with everything that Kim Caldwell's done so far, could you ask for really a better start to her era?
Absolutely not. I mean, she's undefeated. There's nothing
Yeah.
else more that you could ask for.
I mean, I thought she did really well in the portal. Her recruiting class is ranked pretty much, I think the consensus is second. That's pretty good. That's actually
amazing.
really good. And LSU's class is loaded. So, I mean, that's what you're going at. But the fact you're out recruiting UConn, you're out recruiting South Carolina, Iowa, just to mention a few. USC's been hot. I mean, where does that one go as well? I think it says a lot for what she's done. And then, of course, right now they're 13-0 on the season. They're 1-0 in SEC play. We'll see what happens. Oklahoma up by 1. It looks like this one's probably going to go down to the wire with them in Texas. But I think so far it's been a home run hire. I think Tennessee Vols recruits 101 pretty much. I stole that term. She was a home run. Yep, absolutely. And it seems like they are in on top-notch recruits throughout the country. I think there was an article or something come out talking about who, I guess, the best jobs maybe so far, and it ranked her number 1 on what she's done. Maybe I'm wrong on how I said that, but I don't know what more you could ask for right now. I mean, it's with men's basketball, with women's. And do you think she gets any possible tips from old Rick Barnes too, considering her husband's on Rick Barnes' staff?
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be some kind of communication back and forth. I don't know how much it necessarily is happening, but I feel like there's been some tips that she's taken. I mean, they do run 2 completely different styles of play, so you have to take that how it is. But Rick Barnes has been around basketball forever, so there has to be something that's rubbed off on Caldwell.
I would think that, her and her husband have to share some of the intel information that happens and stuff. I mean, especially her coming into the SEC for the first time, stuff. There's stuff that she can pick up on. Who knows? Rick Barnes has really surprised me how much he's evolved the last couple years, and maybe he picks some stuff up.
Maybe
too.
I don't know. I feel like if he watched, I mean, sure he watches the majority of the games. I bet he watches some of the games and some of the shots when they just run down the court and just throw it up and make it. I bet he's quivering in his seat just considering if that was his team, they'd be out of the game.
Yeah, if he's ready to pull somebody out of the game. Yep, because you can see that look he gets where he's just kind of staring. The funniest I get from him is when they get on a roll, especially get a few steals, and you just see him sitting over there with that leg crossed and his arms crossed, and you see that little bit of the mouth cocked sideways, and that's about as much of a grin as you're seeing out of him.
He's pretty calm for the most part. I feel like some of the assistant coaches are more into it than he is at times.
Well, you got to stay cool though in that regard. I mean, you got to keep a pretty even keel.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of opposing coaches in Thompson-Boling Arena that lose their ever-loving mind. And one of them's coming to Thompson-Boling Arena this Saturday.
Yeah, you're right.
He's all over the place.
Hopefully he'll lose it. Barnes is probably one of the more calm coaches there is. Yeah. I mean, you'll see him get fired up sometimes. But, I mean, I don't think Caldwell gets too animated. I mean, she's into it and coaching and stuff the whole time.
She gets after the officials a lot.
She does. And, I don't know. I think I've seen her pumping fists a few times tonight when they were getting some of those traps and steals down there. So, yeah, she's definitely into it along the way. But, yeah, what she's doing, though, so far is really good. I'm interested to see where they go down the stretch. I mean, the big tests are going to be, you coming up this week, Oklahoma, LSU. You've got 4. I mean, to me, really, you got Oklahoma and LSU at home. You got Arkansas on the road. That's a good team to play on. Mississippi State's at home. Vandy is on the road. Texas is on the road. That'll be your toughest road game. You've got South Carolina at home, at Missouri. Well, I'm sorry on it. Let me rephrase. Tech, you got to go to LSU. It's home and home with LSU. I mean, Florida, Kentucky will be tough. There's some tough games, but I feel like for the most part that most of their tough games are at home. I think it's a very favorable schedule. And then, of course, you get to Greenville as well. If any of you guys on here listen, go to Greenville for the conference tournament. Let me know. Maybe we could do a meetup because I'm right outside the Greenville area. There's good old Yeehaw Brewing right down below where it's a really cool place. I mean, there's other places as well, but if any of you are in town from it, please be sure to leave me a message on any of the videos or something, and maybe we can have a meetup or something. It'd be pretty cool before that when the conference tournament comes to Greenville. But let's see. Yes, yeah, they are both very good teams, Eric, for sure. Texas right now is ranked fifth. As I'm getting ready to say, I think it's fifth. Oklahoma's ranked ninth. I said it just a minute. I had to double check on that. So fifth and ninth. So yep, definitely two good teams there. I mean, Texas is pretty much good at every. I don't know how good they are in men's basketball this year. I mean, I feel like they're going to be fine, but
I think they're just decent. I don't think they're nothing.
And then they were down a little bit in baseball last year too. They're normally
they got Schlossnagel now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that'll be interesting to see. I mean, he ended up not getting that many A&M guys to follow him over, though, did he? A lot of them stayed.
Do you blame the kids? I don't blame the kids.
No, I don't get that when these kids want to go follow a guy who hits the road in a hurry. It's like, I mean, that's why you really can't criticize kids hitting the portal, is because a coach can up and skip town at the drop of a dime too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a two-way street on it. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to see as well. But is there anything I'm forgetting? I feel like we're probably going to wrap up on here. I think we've discussed about what we can tonight. Lady Vols Sunday 3. Men play Saturday, what is it, 1 o'clock?
Yeah, it's pretty sure 1 o'clock.
You going?
As of right now, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I will be live post-game Saturday. This dude will be there, hopefully drinking plenty of water beforehand so he can boo a certain guy who sat with a towel over his head last year while Estrella and Owaka had to guard the top center in the country and just push him around. But hopefully he's got his voice and plenty more do too. And I got a feeling it's going to be.
They should give out towels for the students.
Yeah, they should put them over their heads.
Yep.
Yeah. And if Boo Carter's in attendance, they will not be chanting. It won't be chanting for Boo. Okay. I mean, maybe they will, but it will be towards a former player who normally whatever, but I've let my feelings pretty well known on what I thought. When you quit in the biggest game of the year, and then you hit the portal after, whatever, man.
Good riddance.
Yep, exactly. And it's like Barnes had said here recently, they were talking about when the four players hit the portal last year, said Meshack and Ziegler said, Coach, if they don't want to be here, we don't need them here. So that's the way it goes. So coming up, we should know something on Mike Matthews' watch tomorrow. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. I'm still going to have a video out once I hear something on that for sure. Yeah, that's right. SEC football. Tony V said you're either a Vol or you're not too. That's right. I put out a couple portal videos today. I missed a couple players that they're talking about right now, but it's kind of fluid. Keep you updated on any of that. And then basketball Saturday, women's basketball Sunday, men on, I think it's Tuesday.
They play at Florida.
So that'll be a big one. That'll be a big one for two of them out of the gate. I mean, looking at that SEC schedule for this weekend, it is going to be knock down, drag out this year in SEC basketball. I mean, it's going to be wild. It is. Yep, SEC football said it's going to be brutal. It is. It's going to be fun, for sure. It'll be the best that I think I've ever. If it maintains the way it is, I think this will be the best that I have ever seen the SEC top to bottom in men's basketball. It is now, to me, caught up. Football's dropping off a little bit. SEC football.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
Texas is it. Texas ain't winning. Texas was fortunate to get out with a win yesterday.
Yep.
I got a feeling Texas will get run out of the building next.
Yeah,
even though it's going to kind of be like a home game for them, I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, I feel like Oregon playing in Pasadena probably traveled a whole lot of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there, but still. Ohio State's
I did not watch. I was keeping up with it. I went and checked out a little AEW wrestling in Asheville last night. But
yeah, I saw you were hitting that up.
But I turned. I was sitting at a place eating, and I pulled it up, and it was like 34-8. It's like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they put it on them. It was ugly.
But SEC basketball is caught up to where football was. Baseball, though, baseball's even better than football. But the SEC and football, man, they're going to have to. I got a feeling that the NIL drops may start going up a little bit more in some SEC schools this year after what's happened to them this year. They're behind. They've fallen behind for now, and we'll see how long it lasts, because I think this is probably going to be 2 years in a row the Big Ten wins national championships.
Yep.
That's not setting well. And what is it? Birmingham.
Yeah, and I don't see necessarily a SEC team that can easily win it next year. I mean, I don't see anybody. Alabama's not. They don't have it in the bag. Georgia doesn't have it in the bag. Ole Miss is going to choke like they always do with Kiffin. Tennessee, I mean, there's a lot of steps that Tennessee has to take until they can win a national championship, unless a team that like South Carolina with Shane Beamer pulling a miracle, which that ain't going to happen.
Oh my gosh, him getting trolled the other day was the greatest thing.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I feel like Florida could sneakily compete for a national championship next season, just with Lagway and just the way that they've all kind of wrapped around Napier, but it would be hard to do.
They've got a lot of weapons at wide receiver, too.
They have a lot of weapons. And the way they ended the season, they could have beat anybody. So they're I'm very concerned about that trip to Gainesville next November.
I mean, we could go play Elizabethton High School in Gainesville, and it would probably not go well. So
Jason Witten would come back out.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the Beamer thing, laughing to Belima, I don't blame Belima for being pissed, because he said that there's a sign like this that indicates you're doing a fair catch. And Beamer, in his press conference, maybe I misunderstood this, said he's aware of it and he knows, but he indicated to the ref they were going to do that, then pitch the ball. That's cheap.
I just thought it was awesome.
I thought the whole thing was awesome too. I mean, Beamer ain't going to do nothing. He's a Beanie Rooster. He's a weasel. He's out there. That showed with that. I don't think Sellers, I think he's overrated. He can run.
He can't throw the ball.
He cannot throw. People acting like he was the best quarterback in the conference. No, he's not. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
He can't throw. I mean, there's a reason why their top receivers left after last year. And who was it? Wells said, "Ain't got nobody to throw me the football on it." He wasn't lying.
He could be the running back next year.
Who? Sellers?
Yeah, Sellers.
Yeah, they've got better passers coming in. I mean, he made progress, don't get me wrong, but they crowned him too quickly. They didn't really beat anybody of significance that they play. A&M was the one where they drilled them, and they beat Clemson, but whatever, I guess. But let's wrap it up on that one. Final thoughts before we get out of here.
I mean, Kim Caldwell's undefeated. Let's go beat Oklahoma.
Let's do it. Short and simple. Oklahoma's down 6.5 minutes to go right now. So regardless, we're still playing a number 9 ranked Oklahoma team who will, if they lose this one, it'll be their second loss. But I don't think there's any shame. It's kind of like we've talked. You get into some of these teams, it's going to be knockdown, drag out anyway with Texas, LSU, South Carolina, and so forth. But appreciate Kerry joining us tonight. I'll be live with you Saturday after the game. We'll roll from there. But he's Kerry. This is Frank. House of Orange Sports Channel. Hit the like, the share, that subscribe. Guys, have a great rest of your evening. And go Vols.